Everyone has a squad that they roll with from classic Maddens, whether it's the Falcons on Madden 04 or the Pats on Madden 08. But what about some of the more underrated squads of Madden's past, such as the 2013 Skins led by RG3 and Alfred Morris? These guys were coming off of a 10-6 season where they won the division and RG3 took home Offensive Rookie of the Year. The season, however, came to an end against Seattle in a game where RG3 tore his ACL and his career was altered forever. Despite this, the Skins came on to Madden 25 with an 86 overall rating, which is a high mark for any Skins team in the Snyder era. As usual, they failed to live up to the hype, finishing with a 3-13 record. However, I am not going to be looking into how good was this team in real life, but more so how good were they on Madden 25. Teams like the 2013 Skins will be commonly featured in my video series, mainly because they fit the criteria of teams that are just great on paper, but in real life couldn't put it together on the field. Now, growing up in the DMV, I knew many were Skins haters, whether they were because they were Cowboy fans, Giant fans, or they just didn't like the team. But many of these people would use the Skins when it came down to it on Madden 25. That was on online play or in money tournaments. And they did it because they had to admit that the Skins with RG3 were a problem. So let's go ahead and look at these rosters. And just a reminder, these ratings are based off of the end of the 2012 season. They don't reflect what happened in 2013. So here we have RG3 at 89 overall, coming off the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And there's Kirk Cousins, who actually came in to save the season against Baltimore. Got a touchdown and 2-point conversion to send the game to overtime where the Skins won. So let's go on to running back. Here you have Alfred Morris, who was another Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate. Behind him, you had good change of pace backs. Chris Thompson was rookie this year, but he actually ended up becoming a key call to the offense much later on for the Skins. At wide receiver, you have Pierre Garçon, who I always saw was underrated, more like an Anquan Bolden type of receiver. And he actually lived up to his contract in Washington. He had a 100-catch season and he played his full contract with the Skins. Next you have Santana Moss, who is a beloved Skins legend at this point, and Aldrick Robinson and Leonard Hankerson, who are good deep threats. At tight end we have Fred Davis and the rookie Jordan Reed. Fred Davis was out of the league shortly, unfortunately he had substance abuse issues. On offensive line, you have Trent Williams, the anchor, and a pretty solid line around him. That line was a big reason for the Skins' success in 2012. 2013, not so much. Now, as far as the defense goes, it's an average unit, but towards the end of 2012, they actually played pretty well. We have Kerrigan and Rackpo on the edge, Old Man Fletcher in the middle linebacker position. This was last year. Then D'Angelo Hall, Josh Wilson at corner. Overall, they had enough solid pieces to make it work defensively, at least on Madden. Now I'm going to hop on a quick game and show you this team in action. Now, like most, I am not a fan of modern Madden. However, 25 stands out to me. It did a couple of things right. For example, as you're seeing right here, the intro video that every team had when there was a primetime game, it really got you hyped up for the game more. It immersed you with the history of football, and it just gave every team something to be proud of. Even if your team never won the Super Bowl, they hyped you up for the game. They got you ready or whatnot. Madden 25, they need to bring this back. Please. This is, to fix Madden franchise, whatever, that game. Bring this back again. This is what we want. Now, I chose to go against the Niners just so we can see a little bit of Kaepernick in his prime. Remember, this is him coming off the Super Bowl appearance. So he was at a high 94 overall in this game. And given what's happened to him lately, I think it'd be a nice little flashback to see him at his peak again. Along with guys like Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis, who should be coming up for the Hall of Fame next year. So let's go ahead and get into the game. Mike Shanahan, honestly, if you look at most of the 2010 Skins, star players, we're talking about Jordan Reed, Kirk Cousins, Ryan Kerrigan, Chris Thompson, Trent Williams, they were all drafted by Shanahan, so I will give him a lot of credit in terms of how he built this roster. As you see RG3 on the play fake over the Moss, which was the main component of the Skins offense. If you look at most of RG3's career highlights, it started off with him doing the play action that froze the linebackers and let the crossing route get open. And with the read option at his disposal, that's what made him deadly. And this whole offense deadly was because the NFL really didn't have an answer for it at the time. I remember watching guys like DeMarcus Ware who were just, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know whether to go after RG3 go my boy Alfred Morris as Santana Moss gets me down into the red zone. Here comes RG3 on the rollout. And remember when you could actually run fast as your quarterback behind the line of scrimmage without an X factor ability needed? Good times, man. And I'll tell you what I love about this man. Also, for some reason, the spins, the jukes felt more fluid. Nowadays, everyone feels like they're moving in slow motion. On this one, the response time is much more agile. It reminds me a lot of the PlayStation 2 era Maddens where you would tap the button and they would make a cut move. And honestly, if you're using an agile player, someone with a high speed and agility rate, they should be moving that fast. Now I'm gonna show you how you set up the read option on this game. It was so easy. Go one play right in the middle, right? Next play, come out with the same thing. Maybe change the formation up. Alright, call it, and here comes RG3. Outside, get lost. He gone. It's like I lied. Down in the red zone. Honestly, it's kind of sad for a lot of us. We all thought that he was going to be the quarterback here in DC for the next 10 to 15 years. Obviously, the injury had something to say about it, but also, he just didn't adapt well once the NFL caught on to the read option and made him into a pocket passer. To me, it just seemed like he wasn't able to see the field, and honestly, that is what makes the difference between the guys who were great at the college level and fall apart in the NFL and the guys who become great at the NFL level. It's the IQ aspect of it. It's being able to read a defense from behind the center or under the center. It's being able to read a defense when you don't have play action going for you. My boy RG just couldn't get it right. But even today, he is still beloved in DC because for most Skins fans under the age of 35, 2012 was probably the second best season they ever saw in their lifetimes. And when you follow a team like the Skins, you have to appreciate the few good years you get. And you can see this game has just got out of hand. You could actually run the Skins against some of the best teams on the game. If your boy picked the Patriots or the Seahawks, you could actually go ahead and get the Skins and have a fighting chance at it. Because you know dang well you wouldn't today. For the record, this is on All Madden. You can go back early in the video and check that out. You can go ahead and get some defensive gameplay in. There's Fletcher. This man needs to be in the Hall of Fame. His stats are awful similar to Ray Lewis's. And there he goes with the interception to seal the win. So this is just the start of a long series I want to do. Honestly, I can go back to like Madden 99 on the Nintendo 64. I have every Madden from 99 to the present. So leave a comment of a team you would like to see featured because I feel like it's very interesting to look back at these Madden ratings in hindsight. Anyways, thanks for checking out the channel. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be back with some more videos.